How's it going, boys and girls? Today is Tokay Gecko Day, which means we are taking another look at our Tokay Gecko breeding projects. There are a couple of things I want to do today. Number one, I'm going to check on how our pairs are doing, how the project's going, and if I do need to switch out some males or swap some males and cool them off, which I already know we're going to be doing that. However, there's another thing we get to do. It's going to be introducing a brand new breeding project, a brand new morph, if you will, of Tokay Geckos. This is a project that I've had for a little bit. However, I've been very preoccupied with other stuff that I haven't been able to really sit down and do it until, well, right now. It's gonna be a pretty cool project and I'm excited for it. The only thing I'm not excited about is the fact that the male is gigantic, huge. Probably the biggest Tokay I've ever seen. Definitely somewhere around the 15+ inch mark, which is very, very large for a Tokay Gecko. I'm not looking forward to grabbing that animal and putting another enclosure. I'll just be thankful for the time that I have with the hands feeling like this. However, stuff's gotta get done and we gotta do it. So with all that being said, let's get to it. Please subscribe if you're new. Alrighty, boys and girls, first on the list is going to be our Green Galaxy to normal pairing. Now I do have some bad news about this pairing. While we did get an egg hatch, it was actually the first Green Galaxy baby I ever hatched out, it unfortunately failed to thrive. I've noticed this comes with a couple of my geckos. It's very rare in my case, probably like less than 10% of this happens. However, sometimes they just hatch out and they just don't really look right. I noticed this gecko within the first couple of days had shedding issues, it was refusing to eat, and just really anything I was doing to try to help the baby go along just wasn't working. And unfortunately, after about, I'd say 5 days, it eventually passed. Super sad, I was super bummed. However, I can already tell right here from this female that she is gravid again. So fingers crossed we have a little bit better luck on this clutch versus the first clutch that she ended up laying. Real quick, the first thing I want to do is just check out and see if we do have any eggs in here, so I'll be right back after I do that. Hello, angry gecko. Go down. Go down. Boop! Oh my god. Down. 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 Go down. Okay, stay there. I don't give a shit. Oh my god. Both of you are driving me crazy. Okie dokie, boys and girls, while checking this tank, it does look like there are no eggs, no new eggs in there, unfortunately. The female does look gravid, so I'm assuming she is going to lay another clutch here very soon. She looks nice and healthy, the boy looks nice and healthy, so I'm going to be keeping these guys in here. The truth of the matter is, you know, we still are gearing up for Tokay season. I use the natural seasons that we have here, and the seasons just really aren't being nice to me. It's still very cold, even though it's like, what are we, late April at this point? So hopefully the temperatures rise up, and as the temperatures rise up, that natural cycle of the Tokay will kick a little bit bigger and we'll get into that bitter season where they'll be more apt to breed. But these guys do look like they're on the right track, so I am going to keep them together. Take one last look of these pearly white hands because they're about to not be looking as nice as they used to be. Let's try to pull this giant male out, shall we? Real quick, boys and girls, before we get into any more Tokay Gecko shenanigans, a quick word from our sponsor, me. Now, do you guys like the projects we work with? Do you guys like me as a creator and the YouTube videos I make? Consider supporting us over on Patreon. Let's go to the Dakota Blue Exotics Patreon page. You guys get behind the scenes stuff of what's going on with our various breeding projects. This includes updates on the breeders, when we get eggs, when those eggs hatch, and really the coolest thing in my book is going to be when those babies become for sale before I get to show anyone else to the public. Since when old Dakota gets some lily white crested geckos, some super red Tokays, really, any Tokay Gecko baby, the Patreon member and the Patreon crew get to be the ones that can able to buy those geckos before anyone else can to the public. It's a really great place to be, especially if you like to support creators such as myself. It starts as low as $1 a month, which is like one McChicken. If you guys can go one McChicken a month while supporting your boy, I'd very much appreciate it. You can find some more information down there in the link below. Let's get back to Tokays. Alrighty, boys and girls, here we have the male in just a temporary enclosure while we were waiting for the female's foot to heal. I don't know if you guys remember that video. It was a pretty long time ago, but now we get to figure out where the male is. Found him. All right, buddy. Oh god. Oh my god. Come with me. Oh! Oh my god! Why is it so loud? Oh, motherfucker. Bro, come on. How am I supposed to get him out of here? Look at the size of that mouth. What do you want me to do? You know what? I'm not doing this. Wait, I just realized something. Well, boys and... Oh my god. Boys and girls, I just executed a 500 IQ play while trying to get the Tokay Gecko out of the cave in order to grab it. I just realized I could take the cave out of the enclosure, and that's really all I needed to do this entire time. So while, yes, Dakota Burke goes away with no scathes on these hands, take a look at this animal. Jesus Christ. Just take... But look, this is a big cave. Look at the size of this thing. Jesus. Yeah, this is actually very easy, so although it is a little bit hard to tell, I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit. This is going to be a high red. While no, it is not a super red because it's not completely red. What you can see by the pattern is usually what Tokay Geckos have is they're going to have a blue paste with a little bit of a polka dot pattern, right? So when you get into the high red stuff, that polka dot pattern is going to start bleeding into each other, making these nice patches of red lines. You are the biggest gecko I've ever seen. You are terrifying. I'm scared of you. I want you to know that. I know. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. I actually already have the female inside. She's a lot easier. You can see like Instagram reels of me holding her. She's really not that bad. This guy terrifies me, and so I will not be trying that same technique out. But yeah, so this means in 2023, with any luck, we will be getting high red Tokay Geckos, which means you're gonna get a more red base or a more red pattern that's really gonna like blend together and make, well, a gecko that looks like this, versus the other ones that are usually mostly blue with some of that polka dot pattern. 10,000 likes on this video and I will grab this gecko. Make it happen. So now, Jesus Christ, my guy. Oh my god, why are your nails so sharp? Start cooling off this reduced pattern right here. I've noticed with the female, I don't know if she's just not ready or they're not getting along. Actually, what I like to see is if they're not actually laying me eggs, at least I want to see that they're bonded together, sharing the same hides, hanging out together, things of that nature. While the Green Galaxy and Normal pair are experiencing that, these guys are not and never have. They always stay on opposite side of the enclosures. I never see them together. They just aren't compatible, it looks like, which is completely fine. I have other females I can pair these males with, and it's just a matter of, well, they're not gonna bond, I gotta move on to the next one. So what we're gonna be doing here, oh my god, when did you get so strong? I'm gonna be doing here is I'm gonna be moving this guy into a temporary enclosure for a couple weeks, have him cool off from that female scent, and at that point we are gonna be pairing her to my little bit of an oddball female. Now I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think like it's a potential for possible hypo. It's just a really weird gecko. I don't show her off too much because I've kind of kept her a little bit of a secret, but hopefully with any luck we can get some babies. Half of them will hop out normal, half of them will hop out the reduced pattern, and yeah, here's a giant gecko mouth. Let's go to the next one. Hey, sorry, me again. Did you guys know that we have Tokay Gecko merch? Take a look at this bad boy right here. It's actually a 2-for-1 special because you get Tokay on the front, Tokay in the back. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. If you want an actual Tokay Gecko, not a skeleton of one, we actually have a multitude of different gecko ones. We got ones for cresteds, Tokays, chameleons. That's not a gecko. But still, it is on our Teespring. You can find the banner right down there if you're interested in buying a shirt. Thank you. Goodbye. My god. The other one we actually are going to be moving is going to be this granite right here. Now, we've had granite and oddball paired up for quite a little bit now, and unfortunately, they did give us a clutch of eggs last season, and we have incubated and we hatched them, and we actually do have oddball to granite babies that are still doing absolutely fantastic to this day. However, it does look like they kind of just haven't been doing it since. It's been about 4 or 5, 6 months. It's been a while since they've laid another clutch of eggs. I do have a granite to granite female, so a poshet female, if you will, and so getting a poshet female that came from granite blood and then mixing it with a visual granite will get us one step further to potentially getting that visual granite that everyone is after, and just to like reproduce animals like this, which would be absolutely fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead, cool this male off for a little bit. I'm sorry, sir. I'm gonna put a tight grip on you because that is a very angry male. Oh my god. Cooling this guy off for a couple of weeks, and then we are gonna be pairing him with that poshet granite to hopefully, fingers crossed, potentially get some visual granites of our very own. There you got it, boys and girls. A little trip over on the Tokay Gecko breeding side. Once again, it's not going well. However, this is a really weird season. I've noticed even with my new cows, it's just been a late season. People are just now, Geckos are just now starting to lay, they're starting to get me eggs. I'm starting to get into like the 10 to 20 area with eggs, which I would be around like the 20 to 40 area at this point. So it's a bit of a late season. Hopefully within about the May to June, we can start expecting eggs. As soon as these temps start to rise up, it's gonna make the biggest difference in our Tokay Gecko breeding season. Definitely next season, I'm gonna be replacing all these. I really don't wanna work with glass aquariums anymore. I just don't think they do the job very well. I wanna switch to something that's a little bit more condensed and private for them to feel a little bit more secure than just these empty glass aquariums. I might be doing some this season, maybe covering all the sides to make them feel a little bit more secure, but as far as that goes, we're definitely going to be looking at some upgrades for the enclosures to help our production up with tokays. As always, folks, thank you so much for taking the time of your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I will see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.